Hey there, today I'm going to be showing you 5 of my family's all-time favorite ways on how to transform a regular boring box of macaroni and cheese and turn it into a delicious family meal. I hope you enjoy it, and let's go get started. To get us started off today, we're making this macaroni and cheese pizza casserole. So to begin, I'm just going to dice up a green bell pepper and an onion into smaller pieces. Now over to the pan on my stove, I'm going to add in a pound of sausage. I'm also adding in the pepper and the onion that we just cut up. Break up that sausage and cook it through at this point. While the sausage is cooking away to this pot of boiling water, I'm just adding in 1 box of macaroni noodles. I'm just using the KRAFT brand, but you could really use any type of macaroni you like. Now that the sausage is cooked through, I'm going to add in the drained macaroni that we just cooked up, along with the cheese packet that came with it. And then after you add that in there, you're going to add in about a 14-ounce jar of pizza sauce. Give this a really good stir. Once my casserole was well combined, I brought it over to my greased baking dish and I added it right in there. Now I'm kind of spreading it out so it is even. And over the top, I'm placing pepperonis, and then over the pepperonis, I'm going to sprinkle some mozzarella cheese. This baked in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. And the coolest part about this casserole is you can make it your own so easily. If you didn't want to use sausage, you could use ground beef as a substitute. You could use ham instead of the onions and peppers. You can use mushrooms. Just make it whatever pizza variation you want to. And this is seriously one of my family's favorite casseroles. It's just super flavorful and it really does taste like a pizza. Now we're making this chicken and broccoli casserole. So to begin, I just prepared a box of macaroni and cheese according to the box instructions over the stove. So into this big bowl, I'm adding that prepared macaroni and cheese right in there. Then I'm going to add in 1 cup of cooked shredded chicken. You could use any type of cooked shredded chicken you like, or just cook your chicken up on your own, however you choose to do so. Then I added in 1 cup of sour cream, followed by a tablespoon of minced garlic. Now I'm adding in a 12-ounce bag of frozen broccoli. Then I added in 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and for the seasonings, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of paprika and garlic powder, and then about a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Give this a really good stir. I set this casserole mixture to the side, then I pulled out my large casserole dish and I'm just spraying it with nonstick spray. Then you're going to add that casserole mixture right in there. Now we're going to start on the casserole topping, so I'm going to set this to the side. I have a sleeve of Ritz crackers right here. I'm just going to crush those Ritz crackers into small pieces, and if you don't want to use Ritz crackers, you could really use any type of crackers you like or any type of breadcrumbs. I'm going to set these crackers into this little bowl, and then I'm going to add in about 1/4 cup of melted butter. I'll give this a really good stir. Once all of the crackers were coated in the butter, I just set them to the side. Now over the top of the casserole, I sprinkled an additional 1/2 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Now sprinkle the crackers over the top and bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes, or until the center has warmed through. This is the most delicious casserole to make. It is so easy to throw together, and we absolutely love that Ritz cracker topping on the top. It adds the most perfect crunch. And then I also like how you have the broccoli in there, so it is kind of like a whole meal. You don't have to make any side dishes with this one. Now I'm going to show you my secret way on how I make a box of macaroni and cheese taste like it's homemade and you will not even know that it came from a box. So to this pot of boiling water, I added in 2 boxes of regular macaroni and cheese, and I'm just boiling it for about 7 to 10 minutes or until the pasta is tender. Then I added it back onto the stove, and I'm going to add in 1 of the cheese packets, not both of them, just 1. Next, add in about 3/4 cup of heavy cream, followed by 1/4 cup of sour cream. Just trust this process. I promise it's going to turn out amazing. Now add in 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese, and a tablespoon of ranch seasoning. It might sound weird, but it's amazing. Then 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Give this a stir and watch this transform into the cheesiest, most beautiful macaroni and cheese you've ever seen. Okay, you guys, this is the creamiest, cheesiest macaroni and cheese, and when I first made it for my husband, he didn't even believe me that it came from a box. It just truly is that good. Also, it really does taste like it is homemade. You need to try out this recipe. I think it's going to pleasantly surprise you. Now we're making this macaroni and cheese ham casserole. So to begin, we are going to work on the Parmesan breadcrumb mixture first. To this little bowl, I added in about 1/2 cup of Italian style breadcrumbs, then add in 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and 3 tablespoons of butter. Give this a really good stir, then you'll set this mixture to the side. Over to this large bowl, you're going to want to add in 1 box of macaroni and cheese that you prepared. So I'm just adding that cooked macaroni and cheese right in there. Next, you're going to want to add in about 1 cup of cottage cheese, followed by 1/2 cup of sour cream. Next, add in 8 ounces of diced ham. This is the ham that I'm using. We like it. Then add in 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, paprika, and garlic powder. Give this a stir. I pulled out my large baking dish and I sprayed it with nonstick spray. Then I added the casserole right in there. I spread it out to the best of my abilities, and then over the top I sprinkled the breadcrumb and Parmesan mixture that we made up. This baked in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 35 minutes. This casserole is so warm and cozy. It's total comfort food for me and my family. Also, those breadcrumbs on the top give it a nice crunch and added flavor. This is super duper good, and I did serve it alongside of a side salad just with spring mix, dried cranberries, tomatoes, onions, and ranch. Now we're making this Southwest Mexican casserole. To begin, to the pot on my stove, I have some boiling water in there. I'm going to add my box of macaroni and cheese, and I'll prepare it according to the box instructions. While I have this cooking away, I am going to start on the ground beef mixture now. So to this pan, I added in 1 pound of ground beef. Next, add 1 diced onion and a tablespoon of minced garlic. Break the ground beef up and cook it through. Now that the ground beef is browned, and if you have any excess grease in your pan, just remove it. Add in the prepared box of macaroni and cheese, along with a 15-ounce can of drained corn, a can of drained and rinsed kidney beans, or you could use any type of beans you like, a 10-ounce can of tomato sauce, a can of Rotel, and then a little 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. This will give this added flavor, or you could use diced jalapenos, a tablespoon and a half of taco seasoning, and a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Give this a really good stir to combine the ingredients. Now I'll bring this over to my 9x13 baking dish that I sprayed with nonstick spray. I added my casserole right in there, then I tried to spread it out to the best of my ability. I love cheese, so I sprinkled a little bit more cheese on the top. This baked in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. Here's the finished product. If you did want to skip the baking part and adding extra cheese on the top, you can. You could just eat this immediately immediately after it's out of the skillet, but this is so good. We topped ours with our favorite taco toppings. This is 10 out of 10. I'm sure you'll love it as much as my family does. I have plenty more videos like this on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there. Bye for now.